Good evening. So today I wanted to do, we are, by the way, just into evening. And I wanted to talk about beginnings or beginning or whatever. And again, I'm going to refer to myself. That's the best way to give my own perspective and yada, yada. You already know what I always talk about. Anyways, so what do I mean specifically? Well, first of all, I'm gonna start with my history. Like I said, I've had literally, I don't know if it's in my will or what it is, but I had an inability to progress in anything. It was always like I would start off and I would impress, and it looked like I would find something that I would be really good in, or show promise in, and then I would never progress in it, and I would just move on to the next new thing, to the next new thing and the next new thing, and it would always be in a cycle. You see, if I had an inability to progress, what was I gonna do? Naturally, I had to look at the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And you know what? That made me successful as a ghost. Because I could never be involved enough to really bring out certain kind of attention and whatnot. Now, if somebody has a problem with you, because listen, you got to know this is a reality, okay? And this actually exists in people. There are people who hate people based on the way they look. They will literally look at somebody and say, I hate this person. When I was very young, I was maybe 17, 18. And I called a coffee shop, which is a franchise. It's called Tim Hortons. It's a franchise. It's the most successful franchise in Canada. It's basically cheap coffee, cheap bakery for cheap, and it's really fast service. They do a lot of quantity. They literally have Tim Hortons on every corner, sometimes two on one corner, or on one block. So, anyways, I called the lady. I spoke to the manager. She thought I was intelligent. She talked to me. She thought I was intelligent. And what she told me was, I am interested in hiring you. But listen, come see me at this time. This is when I'm going to be there. And see me at that time. Bring your resume because I want to see your face. She actually literally said to me that I want to see your face. So she was an older white woman. So I go to that Tim Hortons the next day. And I go see her. And she literally, like, I walk in and she looked at my face like this. And that was a no for her. And she told me no on the spot. She's like, you know what? I'm not looking to hire anybody. She told me that right on the spot. Just from looking at my face. Now, mind you, when I was 15, I had an older white woman who I went for the interview and she hired me. So, I mean, you know what I mean? So you don't really know what the person is thinking when they look at you. But you have to remember, there literally are people who hate you before knowing anything about you, just looking at your face. Even if you're not ugly, you could be very good looking, but they'll look at your face and they'll hate you. Literally based on your face, especially if they think that nobody's gonna do anything, if there's gonna be no repercussions, like they can specifically fuck with you and get away with it, they're gonna love to do it. They're literally gonna hate just based on your look. And there are some people believe that you should be tortured, that you should be humiliated, that you should be fucked with on every level, systemic or violent or whatever, just because you look too good or look something like somebody they hated in their life. It's absolutely ridiculous. They can look at you and hate, and a girl can remember a girl that picked on her just by looking at your face, and she'll be like, oh, he reminds me of her. And that's enough reason for them to hate you. Anyways, what does a ghost do? A ghost just goes from one place to another place to another place and never shows progress or skill. Never shows a continued progress or skill, because that shows that he's dedicated and he's going to be sticking around. And that really, I mean, if you thought people would hate you without you having any presence, now people are going to get together and collectively hate you, wanting to literally get rid of you. I mean, dude, I've had people put stuff in my food, in my coffee, literally to kill me. And I'm not joking about it. They literally put stuff in there. Like it's one thing to make somebody sick. They've put stuff in there hoping that I would die. And that's from a young age. I've literally had people try to poison me. I've had people I'm not even gonna talk, but I've literally had this happen. And not once or twice, many times I've had people literally try to kill me by putting something in my food or my drink, in my coffee. I'm not even joking about that. At the same time, I have been to good places too. It's not like it's all bad. I've been to good places that are not that bad. But literally, I have literally experienced it. I've literally had people try to kill me, literally try to murder me and take my life away. And I'm not even joking about that. Anyways, moving on. So I never had a beginning that I was sticking with. Yeah, I had a million beginnings, but not one that I would stick with, right? And what does that make me? That makes me a jack of all trades, a master of none. And that's not gonna get you any success in this world. That's one thing if I was already an adult and I somehow landed on this planet and then I was living as a ghost, because in that situation I was already built. I already had my mind working, my mind was made up. I had my natural makeup, my body as an adult. I knew exactly what I was doing, who I was. That's a different situation. Let's just say that was the case. That would be a very different life. Now, being born as a child is, in my opinion, even if you were an adult who was born as a child again, like what happens is that, you lose all that power you had, all that cunning, all that strength, all those advantages, all that edge. You lose everything, because on this planet, a child is always vulnerable. You know what I mean? A child is vulnerable, and he's, he is weak by nature. An adult is much stronger than a child. Even if he's the weakest adult. You know what I mean? Children are meant to be very vulnerable, especially babies, right? So it's a completely different situation. So, growing up, being a baby, living as a ghost, there's no growth. And I've had somebody taunt me once, if I didn't date them, that I would never grow, because according to a lot of people, I never grew. I never grew. Yeah, my mind never grew. My personality, me as a person, me in the community, I've never grown, according to everybody in the past. Now, it's like everybody's looking at me like, holy shit, what the hell is going on? This guy who never grew in society, who never really even had a life, all of a sudden is growing and is a real element in our lives. I'm glad to say, anyways, I'm not gonna, so that's the deal, Now, being in this beginning, it's like everything I'm doing, I'm getting much better at. And people are trying to hold on. The thing is, when you're at the beginner level, everybody likes you within that industry, because to them, you are a beginner and they're advanced and they're ahead of you and they're better than you, right? And you're held in the back of the line, right? Now, with all that being said and done, I think I really had a presence I would say just over 2 months ago, and I've really taken advantage of that. You know what I mean? I don't mean by making appearances or making videos. I've taken advantage of that by just breathing in my surroundings, whatever's around me. Even if I'm like alone in my room, I'm still breathing in anything I can, whether I'm here, there, wherever I am. I'm breathing everything in. I'm using this time where I have presence to form my presence. And I think I've done it rapidly. To live 30 plus years as a ghost with no presence, and all of a sudden you're in. You know what I mean? It's just, it's an explosion. You know what I mean? It's at a crazy speed. It's like nitrous oxide in a car. I'm starting the race off, and at first, it was incredible. Like, wow, this is the first time that I've raced. And it's like, wow, this is the first time I've been 10 meters in. Oh my God, I'm 12 meters in. Oh my God, I'm 100 meters in. Wow. And then it was like this. Nos. Boom. And then it was just like, I fucking flew, And then at this point, I am really like before I said I look like a prodigy, I already look like I'm forming within success. And it's incredible. And I've never had that. And this is my beginning is like, I think my beginning is over. And I just started dipping into life. And it's absolutely amazing. I used to think life is unfair. It is unfair, but it's unfair in a fair way. And life on this planet, everything has real rules, right? And I can't be sour about my past because I realized I was just a ghost. I wasn't really having a presence.